Thank you. Please state your name and title for the record, and keep the testimony brief.
Okay. Good afternoon. Well, I guess it's not afternoon. Good morning. Thank you for having me here. My name is Heather Meyer, and I am here to share the story of my husband and I in regards to this legislation and this bill. My husband and I have been married for 30 years, and his name is Joel Meyer. We live in Nisswa. Joel is a veteran. He served in the U.S. Navy during the Vietnam conflict. 602 days ago, Joel underwent surgery to his colon and his liver as a result of a stage 4 cancer diagnosis in January of 2021. The cancer recurred in the spring of 2022, and it recurred again this past winter. He just finished his most recent round of chemotherapy, and that's why he's not with us today. The chemo has left him too debilitated to make the 6-hour round trip. So I am here today to share our story with you in the hope that it will prevent others from going through the same thing. The sickness, the chemo, the doctor visits, and the constant fear and anxiety about what comes next have been hard, but it was made needlessly harder by a mistake that was made during surgery on July 9th of 2021. During surgery, the hospital staff and surgeons failed to account for all of the surgical sponges, despite the lead surgeon leaving a note in her report stating that all instrument and sponge counts were correct. They were not. A 12 by 12 sponge was left inside of his abdomen, and that is a sponge the size of a dish rag. I brought him home from Duluth on the 20th of July, and I called an ambulance on the 22nd of July. The sponge was discovered on the 23rd, and it was removed on the 24th. In the 2-week period that it was in his abdomen, it created multiple infections and complications. He remained hospitalized until fall, the 17th of September. During that time, he went from 199 pounds to 150. My husband is 6'3". He was delirious. He developed sepsis and nearly died. He couldn't keep food or anything else down, and he was depressed. He underwent surgery after surgery to insert drains in his abdomen to drain abscesses that had been left behind by the infections from the sponge that was floating around in his abdomen. His recovery lasted months and months, even after he came home. I had to feed him through tubes inserted in his belly 4 times a day, every 3 hours. I ran out of paid time off, and subsequently, I ran out of money. To make matters worse, the hospital provider did not seem to care. In a meeting initiated by them with their CFO and their several other officers and their risk management officer, they apologized and offered me 2 $10 gift cards to accommodate the inconvenience of driving 20 minutes from our home to be with him at the hospital every single day from the 21st of July to the 17th of September. So we hired a lawyer. At the time, we did not want to litigate, and we still don't. We are not litigious people. We have never sued anyone in our entire lives. We don't want to spend these valuable days sitting through depositions and responding to ridiculous discovery and spending money on medical experts. At this time, they are getting ready to depose us the end of this month. We were hopeful that we could negotiate a fair settlement with them. We made them an offer, and they didn't even bother to respond to our offer. It was radio silence. As a result, we had to start a lawsuit. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I can read a pleading. In their answer to our lawsuit, they denied any negligence at all. And they even stated that my husband may have been negligent and that he might have been the cause of his injuries. Keep in mind, he was in their care 24/7 from the 9th of July to the 17th of September, except for one day, the 21st of July of 2021. They have now asked for a jury trial, and they have even asked that we pay for their costs. The trial has been set for just after Thanksgiving, which should be the beginning of our holiday season, and it will infringe on our holiday season. In my mind, there is only one reason for the hospital to refuse to negotiate, to include ridiculous defenses, and to ask for a jury trial, and that is that they are hoping he will die from cancer before they can be held accountable for their negligence. They have all of his medical records. They know that he has stage 4 cancer, and they know that under current law, that if he were to pass before we can hold them accountable, they don't have to pay a single penny for the harm that they caused. So I am here to ask you to help us fix this terrible legal loophole that lets wrongdoers profit from the deaths of their victims. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Meyer, for your testimony, and my heart really goes out to you, your husband, your entire family, for all that you've been through.
Thank you.